See, I really appreciate the photography, but almost nobody in the community, besides big production companies, really try and do video.
Right.
Because, I mean, yeah, it's hard as but I don't know. I want to see stuff in action. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to figure that part of it out. Like when I'm posting stuff on IG for the truck. Mm-hmm. When it's I don't know whether or not it's the style of the photo, the content, the or the style. I don't know. It's weird because I'm not sure whether or not video or photos do better, because some photos I have will just go crazy. And of one of the videos I had went really crazy.
I think it just depends on
the content, or is it more about the timing of your post?
Nah, I mean, I'm sure the timing of the post matters to some degree, but what I've
posting at 2 a.m. or something, you might not have.
Yeah. But what I've noticed, and we see this on our own Instagram, is that first of all, I think the type of content that can grab you in the first 2 seconds. Because I'm telling you, I scroll and I just bypass, and I have a very high. I'm very picky on what I stop to see.
Yeah.
But the first time I ever saw one of the videos that he put on, when you did that quick, just boomerang style video.
Yeah.
With the song, that legit caught my attention. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
You know what's crazy though is
it's just the overall vibe that this video gives.
I wish that I could mute this, but I can't.
You can. Just turn the volume down.
No, I mean, on my laptop, it's muted, but
it's not. It doesn't do it on there?
Yeah, it's different.
Turn it down.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
All right, cool.
Yeah, no, and also that movement does help. There's also what's weird is so I scroll through my feed, and I don't know what it is about some of these ad posts, these sponsored posts, but some of them, almost all the time, I catch myself about to like the sponsored ones more than whenever I pass a sponsored one, I feel like I'm going to tap it.
Damn, dude, you're almost at 1,000.
Yeah, I'm getting close. But that's the Transformation Tuesday.
I kind of wish you kept the same angle, because I kept looking back and forth
Yeah, I know. I was trying to find the same angle too, and I didn't find one that was just right. But whatever.
It's not a project, bro.
But it's weird because I think people have found the formula who do these ads they're making content as for ads for companies, because whenever I scroll through, I'm always tapping on sponsored ones for some reason.
Yeah.
And liking them, because there's something about those images that they're doing that attract me, I guess. And
do they tend to be super high production, or do they tend to have just that average feel and vibe to it?
They if I put a bunch of pictures together from my feed, I couldn't tell you which one is the ad and which one isn't, because all of them are very similar. But there's just something about them, and I don't know whether
it draws you in.
Yes, I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure that out to see why those images or that video compels me to want to click it more. And sometimes it's not even on topic of something that I'm interested in. It's just something that's I got to watch it.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to figure that out so I could use it on y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's the kind of weird things that are that I'm noticing but trying to figure out, and I haven't cracked that code. I don't know what it is.
I'm sure you could get what I wanted to try when the truck comes back is Brian. Hold on, we'll address that. But it would be cool to have, I don't know how Brian feels about sticking a Ronin out of a truck.
As long as you got a good grip.
Well, not even a truck. You
yeah,
I think because if you stuck the Ronin out of a regular car and you're angled lower, but you get a rolling video of a truck.
Yeah.
From inside. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Because there's the roller shots, right? But if you just do a steady roller video, I think that could be pretty cool.
That's the one thing I'm going to try to do. Well, now that it stopped raining, I want to test it out with that 360 cam that I have, because it erases the the selfie stick automatically. So if I can put the camera, get it far away enough from the car and do a rolling shot, it'll be like as if there's a camera following the car with a drone instead.
Yeah. See, that's cool.
Which is so gnarly because it's like it has these special effects built into the stick so that it just goes invisible.
Isn't it wild?
Like if you would have told me that 10 years ago, I would have been like, "You're crazy. What are you talking about, bro?"
Yeah, and it's crazy how it's just wild. If you don't know, we're talking about the Insta360 One X camera. And then what's the one that Brian has that you were just referring to?
The DJI Ronin.
DJI Ronin, yeah.
The Ronin S.
That thing's cool, man.
Yeah.
Super silky smooth.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing has been helping me out a lot to make some interesting content for all you folks out there.
Well, let's go into that since, we've been always talking about our roles. Tell us about what you do and how you do things and what are your techniques and stuff. Because we haven't really touched on that. We've been always talking about us and what we're doing.
I mean,
unless you don't want to give away your secrets and.
Oh yeah, because I have all these techniques and stuff. The funny part about what I do now is that literally a year ago, if you would have told me I would be doing these things, I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I've never even had Photoshop in my entire life. I've never even held a video camera.
Well, let's go back. Let's give us give us some background. What did you do before this, and what were you expecting when you came on board, and where are you now, and how you feel about where you are now?
Interesting. Okay. So when Terrell first hired me. Obviously I was super excited and I said to myself, you know what, I'm gonna make him proud.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, this sounds so cheesy. I feel like I'm giving a birthday speech right now for him. No, but he brought me on board and I was pretty excited because this whole company pertains around cars. And my last job, I used to sit up all night while thinking about, I would like to do something involving cars. Mm-hmm. Well, something in the aftermarket community or just something involving cars as to where I get to be around them in some way, shape, or form. And so what do you know? I'm here. Yeah. At Jada Toys, and we get to go to SEMA. We get to go to all these major events, which is just so gnarly to me. But so when I had first started, I was excited about that, and so him and Brian took me under their wing. Well, you as well, Mike, and the design team too. Showed me a lot of stuff. I had to learn very quickly, but starting off, I was very basic. I learned just how to clean up images, product shots, but navigate social media. What's up?
You weren't just into cars though, because you're pretty versed in comic books as well.
Which is another interesting part about being here is that I'm very so I'm pretty immersed into comic books, superheroes, DC fan, Marvel fan, diehard, and so it's like, wow, so I get to work with cars, but then I also get to work with DC and Marvel and all of these other cool entertainment properties. I'm like, right, okay, what is going on? Why am I here? They're supposed to, I kind of had this weird type of imposter syndrome, as I'm not supposed to be here. Oh. But it's like, hey, but I am here, so let me make the best of it, And so I think that's kind of what helps me on my day-to-day basis here too, is like I've never had a bad day here. Mm-hmm. I've had bad instances, but I never have left here or came in here dreading a day because, for one, my past jobs before I was here, bro, I was actually thinking about suicide on multiple occasions. Wow, because is
that rough, huh?
Rough, but just also, a person for me personally, I haven't always, but in the past few years, I've really started to gain more and more self-awareness, but I just picture myself wanting more, but also doing more. And I started to pick up on a lot of ambition. But like as my mind grew, there was a time as to where my mind was sort of excelling faster than like my actual status in life. And because of that, and because of this new awareness that I had for who I want to be, but it wasn't matching up with like what I was actually doing, I just had this overwhelming sense of having no purpose in a way. I felt like I was missing the ball, but I had no idea how to get to where I wanted to get. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have an idea where you wanted to be, where you want to go? Or is it just like something like, okay, I can go all these routes, but it's just not really anything solid yet that you can really grasp?
It was a mixture of both. Because prior to this, I always thought that you're supposed to follow what your passion is, which I still think is a good way to navigate through things. But my passion, I'm the kind of guy as to where I'm willing to not do my passion if it makes me a lot of money. But I would also like to do something that I do enjoy doing. And one of my passions, it was personal training. I'm very into fitness, very into lifting. I'm telling you right now that you could put me up against, a lot of scientists, and I'll be able to match them. Well, lesson for lesson, lecture for lecture, when it comes to the human body and how to make someone stronger. But the problem with personal training, or the problem that I had at the time, because I didn't know how to market myself properly, was like, you have to get clients and get them excited to want to work with you, but then also I kind of started to think to myself like, okay, well, so my purpose is to teach people how to do push-ups. Oh, okay, that's lame. And then like, personal trainers on average don't make a lot of money. Some do, but on average they don't make a lot of money. And so once I started thinking that way, I sort of got a bad taste in my mouth, So prior to me coming here, I was kind of in that position as to where it's like, okay, so my passion is pretty much useless. So why am I here? Kind of. And then the opportunity came up. And as that opportunity had started to come up, I sort of shifted my mindset as to where I was so desperate to have an opportunity that whatever opportunity I did get, I was going to work my ass off for it. I was going to try to grow as much as possible, because I no longer became attached to a passion per se. My passion became whatever it is that I'm doing, you name it. I want to try to excel and push my furthest human capacity possible at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So whether it's another job as to where, I'm a freaking, you name it. Now my passion is just, hey, Jordan, how can you stand out and be the best that you can be? So that's kind of where I'm at now. And so that brings us to my time here at Jada Toys. I first started off, I just had to get, like the first thing was me trying to figure out, okay, so what are my basic tasks that I'm supposed to be doing on a day-to-day basis? Make sure that you don't mess those up. And then after that, I started to go deeper and deeper into those tasks. And most of them revolve around social media. When you handed me off the Jada Toys account, I think that we were at the mid 30,000s in followers or so, and so I would post the product shots and everything like that. We also have a PR agency who also helps out with that too. But matcha tea.
Sorry about that.
And so it's all good. And so, but there came a time as to where I was like, I have a lot of this creative inspiration in me that I wish I could put it out. I wish that like I could craft something together that I think is cool and then put it out there, and then hopefully everyone else out there thinks it's cool too. And it was funny because I have to give a lot of credit to Brian and to Daryl, because they're both highly technical and highly skilled at these things, but then also they created an environment for me as to where it was very, very encouraging of me finding out these new skills. They were totally okay with me spending 8 hours a day trying to figure out how to do one thing on Photoshop or do one thing on Final Cut Pro, right? Guys, right? So long as I got my day-to-day task done and nothing was held up, I'm free to figure out and create whatever I want to. And that's still how it is now. And so the first thing that I really took a stab at was when we went to last year's AutoCon. I had made, they had helped me to make a video promoting it. Do not scroll down our Instagram page, because I'm embarrassed of that video. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell were you thinking, Jordan?
Well, if you're comparing it to what you're doing now,
and it was funny because that was my first time ever doing any type of video editing whatsoever. I had no idea how to use Final Cut, and I was so stressed out because there's a deadline. You want to try and promote a show in time before it actually happens. and I was just sort of pulling overtime trying to figure this stuff out, put it out there. It went well, but then after that, I started to get a bug, and the basic tasks I was doing on a day-to-day basis, I would not be able to. I just can't do the minimal stuff anymore. And I feel like with my job being to manage social media on top of the other things I do, I want Jada Toys, I want to bring us to a point as to where from a digital perspective, we are able to tango with the best of the best, and so I want to make cool and compelling films, pictures, etc. And so I went out last year or so, bought this $3,000 thing I have in my lap, aka it's my MacBook, and I'm gonna start that sentence up. So I went out, I got a MacBook, and then I started to learn about Final Cut Pro, and then I was able to practice more and more video. But it was funny because I would see all of these other ads. I would see all of these other pages, particularly car pages, and they would be making really cool stuff. And I would say to myself, man, I wish I could make that. I can't do that. But I don't know how. But eventually, I just started to inch closer and closer and closer to making more and more videos, producing more and more content. Probably the biggest and most important thing that I tried to pursue was this podcast, because of this podcast, I'm constantly having to make videos, but then also I'm trying to figure out a way to step out of my head of what I think is cool and then step into the viewer's head and see okay, so what do you guys feel is cool?
That's one of the biggest things that we have to do as designers in the product development side. Is we're not trying to do things that we think are cool for ourselves. We have to think what the general public is going to want or what they think is cool. And that's one of the hardest things, because my circle of friends may be into one thing, but that's not what the mass thinks.
Right.
And it's really hard to step away from that, because we all have our opinions, we all have our likes and dislikes about certain things and the way things are done, but we just have to figure out that happy medium where I think everyone can agree on.
Right. Yeah, because there always is that sort of middle ground, right?
Yeah,
Like, okay, if I think it's cool, chances are is that they probably think it's cool too at this percentage level, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's definitely a hard thing to try and figure out. But the main thing was just trying to take chances, take risk, expose yourself to criticism. I've had plenty. I've made plenty of videos as to where hardly anybody clicked on them.
Yeah.
And I get pissed the off. I get mad, but when I get mad, I turn that into productive energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I try to dissect it further and then figure out, okay, so what is it that you people like? And then I get a hit. And then that hit starts to grow. I try to take that formula again and then apply it elsewhere. And then and then eventually, here we are now. I mean, I'm still not that great in my opinion, but I look back a year ago and I'm like, man, I would have never thought that I would be carrying around a DSLR camera attached to a Ronin, shooting stuff, learning all these techniques, trying to push myself as far as video editing. I got some cool stuff being worked on for our 20th anniversary that I'm very excited to put out.
Yes, we got a little glimpse of that album.
Did you?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully everyone likes it, or else I'm gonna get really mad because this thing has me losing sleep at night.
Oh, dude,
trying to figure. Yeah,
speaking of, people are asking me, they're hitting me up about it, like, yo, what are you guys doing for 20th? Because we know you did the 10th anniversary stuff. Mm-hmm. What are you guys doing this year? And they're also asking about our Toy Fair exclusives. They're asking about all that kind of stuff, and it's pretty exciting because I'm glad to hear that people are excited to see what we're coming out with, especially for this celebration that we're having this year. There's a couple of things besides the. And I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off and going off to our.
Oh no, it's fine.
Thing, but we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
We have our Toy Fair exclusives. I mean, by the time this pod comes out, we'll be at Toy Fair, setting everything up, and the Toy Fair will be starting. And then there's already been our Nuremberg Toy Fair, and so we have this 1/64 scale GTR in our special graphics, and it's kind of like a preview of sorts to what we're going to be doing for our release.
Okay, well, that's a good way to put it too.
Yeah. Because it has a special colorway, not a colorway, but a finish. Yeah, a special finish. The way we execute it is a little different than what you're used to seeing from Jada Toys. But this 1/64 scale car, and it's probably one of the most limited items we have, other than say the wedding car. I don't know if car. Yeah, the wedding car. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
But this one is limited to 300 pieces total worldwide. Only 150 of them who were given out at the Nuremberg Toy Fair. There's only 150 of them being given out at the New York Toy Fair. You have to be in attendance to the Toy Fair to be able to get one. So we're not everyone's going to be able to get one. But we'll see what we can do, if we can try to do something to get one out possibly to the public. Maybe I don't know. I'm not promising anything, but we're talking about it.
Yeah. That would be super exclusive.
Yeah, super exclusive.
150 pieces?
150 pieces in New York and 150 pieces in Germany, and that means total 300 pieces worldwide. But the wedding car is there was one of our employees here many years ago. I want to say maybe 15 years ago, got married, and as their giveaway in their wedding, Jada Toys made a Bel Air 64 scale, and it said the names of the people who got married on it, and collectors got wind of it, and it's being sold on the secondary market all over the place, and it's going for really big money. It's like one of those Holy Grail type items from Jada Toys. Yeah.
Okay, sold for how much, if you can divulge that?
Oh man, I've heard it being sold for as much as 150
Damn.
for 164 scale.
Man.
For Jada Toys. I mean, that number is not nearly as much as some of the Hot Wheels are out there, but for a Jada Toy secondary market, this item was never sold. It was just given away to the people who were attending the wedding.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty exclusive item.
And that was the 10th year anniversary, you said?
No, that's not. This is not even 10th year anniversary. This is just something that Jada Toys made for this employee of Jada Toys for their wedding as it's a total one-off. So that's one of the holy grails. If you can find it, every once in a while it'll pop up on eBay. You'll see it. I'm sure the same thing will happen to this 20th anniversary 64 scale.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so because I've been getting a lot of DMs and yeah, man, people are ready to fight over it.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
And that's probably one of my favoriteest things on social media too, particularly with our page. Well, Jada Toys is so interesting because I don't know. There's so much heritage to this company, and I feel it every time somebody sends us a DM or like they tag us, and they have a diecast, and it's super old, but like they've customized it, they've restored it, but they've kept it nice, and it's something that is from our library that I have no idea even existed in the first place. I look at it, and I'm like, oh, we made that?
Yeah. Well, dude, there's 20 years. That's 19 years of product that you haven't seen.
Right?
Yeah,
that's a lot. Yeah. And so I see this, and I'm like, wow, there is just so much history here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It's more than just us being around for 20 years. It's more so the amount of life and the amount of passion that you can tell when you pick up that model, and it's almost like if upon contact of picking it up or looking at it, but you could just see. This sounds like a kind of physical thing, but you could just see all the heritage and see all the
it almost
hard
has
work
like an aura about it.
Yeah, it's sacred in a way.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think that kind of goes back to kind of what we started this topic or this pod off with, which is what you bring to Jada Toys. And I think it's not just you, but it's everyone in this office who helped bring that heritage to the products. Like everyone that I've worked with here that have been part of growing Jada Toys to what it is today had their part, and they all had that same kind of element to them, which was that passion for the vehicles or passion for what we're doing here, and the passion to want to grow and better themselves. And it's not, and there was no attitudes. Everyone was receptive to criticism, whether it's from the art directors or from the owners or from whatever. We all work together and we're humble about what we did and what we do, and are genuinely happy to be at this job. And I think it comes through in the products we create.
Right.
And I think that's part of it. I think it is metaphysical, but I think that the attitude and the passion that we have does get transferred to the products that we're making in some weird way, and you can see it.
Yeah.
It's just like in cooking, right? I guess someone who's really passionate about cooking, you can really taste it in the food that they make.
Well, cooked with love.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hungry.
Daryl, you've been pretty quiet this pod. It's been 30 minutes almost. You haven't said a word.
I'm letting you guys go on your tangent.
Hey man, stop being so damn patient.
You guys are having a conversation between yourselves, and I'm just listening.
We'll do. Okay. Let's bring it back. Why did you hire Jordan?
For all the reasons that he just stated.
You take the easy route out.
No, I mean from day one, it was it's and like, to be honest, that's kind of why there's really nothing left for me to say that hasn't already been said. It's because it was being recognized from day one when I even approached him about the opportunity. I saw that he had in him, this characteristic in him, this drive, this mentality to want to learn. Mm-hmm. And you understand going into it that it's going to be it's a process to kind of come in, especially if you've never been in, the corporate environment, if you've never been in the toy industry in general. It's something that you're just kind of walking into with no experience. I think we both recognize that, and we both recognize that it was going to take a little bit of time, but given the proper, I think, guidance down the path surrounding him and putting him in an environment with people that are really, and to your point, people, right? Culture, can get him to where he is today.
Yeah.
And I think
the opportunity to get him to.
I think that's the biggest thing, because when you're talking about bringing in somebody new and kind of essentially like grooming them to kind of be like who you've become, right? It can either go this way or it can go that way.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be, and I think especially because it was like your first experience, so many people, like, you'll have one half say, oh, I had a really good first experience and this is kind of who I became due to, so-and-so or this experience. Or you have this other crowd that's like, oh, my first like job wasn't really a good experience. Because of this, then it kind of deterred me into, right? So like, that's something I knew I didn't want to do or be. But again, at the end of the day, the whole thing was recognizing that he had this quality in him that no matter what it was, you understood that he was going to put his whole heart into what he was going to do.
Yeah.
And that to me has always been number one, is if you can take that, apply yourself to something and constantly learn, and you're open and willing to learn, you can get very, very far.
Yeah.
And I think he's shown that from where he started to where he is now. I mean, you look back to the person that you were a year ago, it's night and day.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, like, the way you're managing him is you're giving him the opportunity to figure out where he wants to be. You're not pigeonholing him into the position that you had for him. You're allowing him to go out and venture into different areas, like whether it's, going into actual full-on video editing, giving him the opportunity to suggest that we do this podcast and carry it through. Those are the kind of things that I think, and that's the kind of support that employees need from their managers to really feel like they're doing something and they have an opportunity to make a difference within the company.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, everybody here to some extent has to feel like we have a sense of ownership to something. Mm-hmm. Right. And I think when you have a sense of ownership to something, albeit a project or, responsibility to what you have to do every day, as long as you can say that you can take ownership in this, then you're emotionally invested into something.
Right.
And I think that it's kind of like fuel to your fire. It's like it becomes your baby. Yeah. Right. It's a representation of you. It's a representation of everybody else. And so you want to put forth your best effort to make sure that it's done the best possible way. Kind of like what you were saying with, the product that, you guys design and things like that. It's no different, I think, for everything else in life. So, I mean, that just kind of expanded on everything that he was saying. But just the other day in the car, he was giving us a sneak peek at what he was filming it for the 20th, and Brian asked like what lens he was using. He was like, "Oh, I'm using macro lens or zoom lens or something." And I was like, "Whoa, dude, that's not terminology that you would have been using like a year ago." No, but I think, and to your point of what you were saying of like the very first videos that you created of how
let's bring one up.
But I think
there's somewhere down here.
I think like if you were to look back on it and for it to make you feel a certain way, it just shows how far you've come and how much you've learned.
Right.
Like, I think that's why those feelings come, because you know that if you were to do it over again, the whatever you want to call it, the production value, the quality of the video, or whatever, it's going to be night and day today versus when you first did it.
Right.
So, I mean, we always say that people here at Jada, we always pride ourselves on that Jada culture, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
And I think that's all part of it is it all starts with the employees, and that's who actually cultivate the culture. And we're trying to keep that going by the people that we bring in as new employees. They all have to have that quality that drive, that passion, and the humility in it as well to be able to take criticism and all that. Because if you're too proud of your stuff that where you can't take any kind of criticism about your work, you're never going to learn. You're never going to grow. You're going to be stuck with the way you think is right. And it may be right, but it may not be right for what the company needs. So you need to be able to swallow your pride and actually do something that helps.
Yeah, and I think right now, like especially when I look at like, say like the marketing department, for example, and your department, and I think when I'm looking at the scope of people, I think it's a nice synergy right now.
Yeah.
Because on any given day, like I think there's a good balance between attitudes and emotions and like kind of how people are, how we are with each other, I think.
Yeah.
Because you have some people that are a little bit softer, but you have some people that have a little bit more fire to them. And at the end of the day, like I see it as a pretty good balance right now.
Yeah. And that, with that balance comes like respect. Most of the time when you don't like to get criticism from someone, it's because you don't really respect that person. Right. But everyone here right now has this mutual respect for each other where we can give them criticism. It's kind of like a bunch of best friends. You have your best friend. You can insult him all you want. And some of it may be true, some of it might, but they take it and are okay with it because you're the best friend.
Yes.
Well, right. Yeah, like anything that's said, especially here. I think because so many people here are cautious of making the environment what it is, that we're all very respectful towards each other. So anything that we have to say, towards one another is always coming from a good place.
Yeah, right.
So I think at the end of the day, that also ties into what the overall culture is like here.
Yeah.
Right. Like when we're going out and we're having lunch, or we're doing things outside of the office, or if we're just, hanging out in the hallway. I mean, it's more often than not a good time.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And I think we do, everybody here does what they can to keep that energy, going.
I mean, there's no room for getting angry and fighting with each other because, you can, because it's productive. It can be productive. There's sometimes companies that I've been to before I started here where people fight just because, it's just a straight up, they don't have, their opinion the other person's opinion doesn't matter to them. They just think whatever their way is the right way, but here we all have the same goal, right? Everyone knows that our goal is to make this company flourish. And if we all have that same goal, taking advice from someone else who may or may not have more experience in that whatever that category, it's okay because whatever you're trying to talk about and trying to get through, the end result is going to be better for the company.
Yes,
and that's what you want. Why have feelings? Because if something doesn't go your way, we're all going after the same thing. And it's all to make this company better. And when this company gets better, so does your career. So does your salaries, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of benefits for everyone working synergistically together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it all starts with the people we hire. It's all the people. I mean, everyone has to be able to mesh to be able for that to happen.
Dude, that is so important because here, I'll put it this way. And so one of the first things that you said to me when I first got hired, I was pretty insecure in the beginning because I felt like okay, I don't really have any skills per se, well, nothing like I could actually name off of the top of my head. How am I supposed to be able to bring some value here? But you had told me, I don't care about skills. Those can always be learned. I care about your ability to get along and work with the people around you. Everything else, can be learned later. And that made me feel very secure. But you have also embodied it, and you too, Mike. Is that we're essentially free to create our own jobs in a way here. of course, we have the day-to-day task as to where they have to get done. But after those things are done, there's no micro management of like anything. It is just pure autonomy here, and that's probably what I love most is that that as long as I make sure that this is done, I essentially will get to create my own job, and then hopefully that helps the company flourish. And but there are a lot of people who have other jobs as to where they are constantly under the watchful eye of their boss or their manager or their supervisor, and their manager just gives them no trust, no room to grow, and because of that, their workforce is miserable. And so, dude, I am eternally more grateful that it's not that way here because me personally, I don't have a problem with authority figures. I don't have a problem with somebody guiding me and telling me what to do, but I do have a problem with a drill sergeant. I do have a problem with somebody who wants to have this type of fascist way of running things and not allowing people's creativity to actually flourish, and yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it before. Like we've said that our beliefs is that you get the best work out of the people who want to work for you.
Yeah.
You're not going to get really good work out of people who are reluctant to work for you because they don't really want to be there. Do they really want to give you that energy that you think will bring out the best creativity, the best product? It's if they truly want to work for you or are happy to work for you, I think you're going to get a lot better product out of them.
Yeah, you never want someone to do like the bare minimum of anything. Yeah. I think whether it's a project or anything like that, it's kind of like, okay, well, what the baseline is, right? So once you accomplish that, but then I think that's when you get into like, I think the standards that you hold yourself for, and and this is like the representation of you, right? Like how far are you willing to go to really make this? Let's use a diecast for example, like what you guys do with having it sit correctly with the stance, making sure that the tires are pushed out correctly to the fender so that it sits flush and things like that, or the little minor detail of maybe like this line doesn't flow here, and all these things that are so minor. But matter so much to us because it, in the end generates is us putting out, I think, what people expect from Jada.
Right.
And it all kind of goes hand in hand with each other.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yep.
I'm gonna cut that part.
So well.
Yeah. Well, thank God. Oh wait, that's not PC.
So I guess next week we'll be in Toy Fair, New York. Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too cold.
Yeah.
Polar Death Vortex.
Yeah.
Sounds like a move from like Dragon Ball Z. I'm gonna hit you with the polar vortex.
I think we're gonna be lucky and miss it, but it's still gonna be cold.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Are we recording over there? Are we recording here?
Is it pizza time again?
Pizza time.
New York pizza time.
New York, real, true New York pizza time.
Hey, so Daryl. So before we elaborate on our plans into New York, you have some plans with a couple of friends of ours.
We have some plans.
We have a couple
of friends of ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, can we tease the RC that we're working on?
We already have.
Well, we've done like a black teaser image, but here, insert product image here.
Yeah.
It's like here first. So now you have to watch the podcast. Otherwise, you just heard me say insert product image here.
Yeah. So let's tease it, but only give it to the people who are watching or listening to the podcast.
Okay.
Like people on social media will have to wait till our official rollout of the product.
Yeah. So if you're not following us on our social media, you really should at Jada Toys, especially on Instagram. We posted something, what's that say? 8 days ago? 6 days ago? I don't even know.
5 days ago.
5 days ago. we posted something announcing a partnership. Jada Toys will be partnering with Addictive Desert Designs. And so for those of you who don't know, Addictive Desert Designs is really leading and paving the way in the aftermarket truck industry with their body kits for certain truck applications and whatnot. That's a very exciting partnership that we have going. And if you can put 2 and 2 together, that means we're going to be rolling out some pretty sweet product. In addition to the product, we also have a real 2018 Ford Raptor that we're partnering and building with them. So stay tuned for that. That's something very, very exciting for us. And I'm sure you guys will not want to miss that. So for all our truck fans, stay tuned.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited too.
We've seen some pictures of it in progress already, and it's kind of, it's
getting there.
Yeah. I'm getting giddy.
Yeah. In addition to Addictive Desert Designs, we also have other partners. Some that are not confirmed, some are. But
stay tuned maybe for a future until once all those get confirmed, we can start listing out all those partners that we're working with.
Yeah. So follow us on social media.
Yeah. So once this whole deal is done, you may see some more product, diecast, RC possibly with a lot more of these partners on these cars that we're making. So it's pretty exciting because that the aftermarket right now for the truck game is awesome. A lot of people are into it right now, and it's awesome. It's fun. It's the looks of these trucks that people are building are awesome. It's just a cool scene.
And it's an opportunity for us to combine our love of car culture with what we do.
Right.
That ties back to Jada core DNA with diecast and radio control. So we're very excited.
So are we showing them a sneak peek of the actual vehicle? Or not a sneak peek, but the actual thing? Are we showing them what it is? Or
insert second product image here.
Yeah.
Right there. Put it in. Okay, let me know what y'all think of that.
Yeah. It's cool. I mean,
so
I'm excited. I think
the only way I think they really saw that is if they watched the video, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So. And you got a little bit of verbal knowledge of what may be coming out in the future for diecast as well. So
okay, we're stepping up our truck game, y'all.
Yeah.
Well, you have no idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not the only thing that we're stepping up. There's a lot of other things in the works that we can't say because they're not fully developed yet. But once it happens, then
this is kind of like the first big domino.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say.
And if you're listening to the podcast, I think you guys will be getting it first.
Yes. We have not made this announcement anywhere else.
Nope.
Yeah. I love it on social media when somebody hits us up and they tell us, hey, are you guys planning to make this and that? And they're actually spot on. I mean, I'm like,
can't confirm nor deny.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing.
I mean, anything's possible. I always say anything's possible. Winky face.
That's all you can really do, though, because there's certain things we just can't talk about. There's so much going on behind the scenes that we would love to tell you guys, but it's just whether it's the licensing agreements, whether it's just too early in the process because things can come up. But we'd love to talk all about it, but it's just tough.
Gotta stay patient. But we do have some really big projects in the works for this year. The Raptor build being one of them. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are into cars and all that stuff, which I'm sure you are, otherwise you wouldn't be following us, there's a lot of good things coming.
A 1-to-1 Raptor.
Yes.
1-to-1 Raptor.
Just to be more specific.
Yeah, not a 24 scale.
Yeah, no.
Not 1/24, not 1/64, not one. Well, maybe down the line. But the major thing is this 1-to-1 that we're building. Yeah.
Okay, so we should have a contest if somebody wins, but you drive and go and pick them up. Wherever they are.
Geographically,
they have to be within.
They have to be in a 25-mile radius of the. I'm not about to name our area code.
In Southern California.
Yeah. I don't want anybody who I might have pissed off. Well, coming down,
looking for you.
who I might have inadvertently pissed off. Yeah.
But we'll keep you guys updated and things like that as far as the build goes and as far as the product goes. Who knows? Maybe we'll even do a special sweepstakes somehow with the product.
Best believe that we will keep you guys posted.
Yeah, and I know, and there's like, just to give them a little bit more of a hint of some of the things coming down the line. Not really a hint, but just what to expect. I know there's a lot of people who are really into our Hollywood Rides line, and we're adding some pretty popular titles into this coming down into late 19, early 20. So yeah, we're pretty excited about those things. You may see things starting to come out after New York Toy Fair because that's the big reveal for a lot of the buyers, and it's also a big PR time for us. That's what New York Toy Fair is really about, is to going, not only to show buyers but also to get some PR press, because there's all the news stations out there. Good Day LA is out there. A lot of magazines will be walking around looking for news stories, and I know some magazines have already been hitting you up, Jordan, about getting out there and looking at what we got. So yeah, after the New York Toy Fair, which starts the 16th.
Yeah, that's the first day.
Yeah, 16th of November, and it goes up until 17, 18, 19 or
February.
Something like that. Sorry, February. What did I say?
November.
Yeah, sorry. I know, totally.
We're already in SEMA.
Speaking of.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's when you'll probably see more of the new things. But yeah, there's I'm excited about the Hollywood Rides line. Of course, the JDM line. The Just Trucks line. Big Time Muscle. We're not forgetting about that. There's some cool stuff coming down.
Yeah, and there'll be lots of spy shots too.
Oh yeah,
that always happens.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're like no photos, and then someone's sneaking in a little camera.
Some Russian spy who has that Cold War. He has a cigarette box, but it's actually a camera. In it,
he's flipping the pan around and he keeps clicking it, but pointing the pointer to the front.
Like, oh man, these people are clever. Gotta love them.
Oh dude.
Oh, and by then too. I talked to a hair lady, and I might have my Killmonger hairstyle.
Oh, by that is it long enough already?
So it's long enough now. So
really,
so hopefully
you gonna frost the tips.
Maybe
that'll happen naturally out there, dude.
I guess so. That's true. Yeah,
yeah. Polar vortex. All right.
No. Just go ahead.
Yeah. Well, anything else, guys? Any other status updates? Okay, people love those.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think the one thing I do want to start doing more is giving out more details on some of the products as they come down the pipeline.
Yeah,
as we get them.
I think that's a good idea. I think also to reward people who are actually watching.
Yeah,
we can start with the Just Trucks that we were just kind of teasing.
Yeah,
we can actually have the sample.
Yeah,
here, talk about it, and the only way.
Well, we're going to be at the showroom or at New York next week, so if it's done, if we have, I don't know, it's going to be more rudimentary because we don't have all of our mixing boards out here or out there, but we can we, Brian?
We could figure it out.
Figure something out, because that'd be cool.
I already have an idea in mind, actually.
Yeah. Because if we can, if we do it inside the showroom, that'd be kind of a cool setting.
Yeah.
And then it's just us. We're gonna be there. We can show you a lot of the new stuff.
Yeah. Well, let us know what y'all want to see most.
Exciting.
I know, right? Well, guys, that wraps up episode 26.
Wow, you didn't do your hey guys, this is episode 26. What do you think about that?
So there was no intro again.
Yeah,
but you guys are used to that.
I know. I gotta get on. I told you guys I have an idea for the music.
Oh yeah,
and I just haven't executed it yet. But I have the idea is in my head.
This is gonna be fun.
Okay, but you are a DJ.
I used to be a DJ.
Once a DJ, always a DJ.
Yeah, I guess so. I just don't have my equipment anymore. That's what sucks.
Yeah. Well,
it was expensive at the time. Well, it still is. It's even more expensive now.
Oh, man. Dude, because that trend blew up.
Dude, the turntable, the main turntable that every DJ used back when I was DJing is the Techniques 1200s MK2.
Mm-hmm.
They were going for at the time like $400 a turntable. Now they're like over $1,000 each.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's still the turntable. I mean, they have it's a newer version, but still, it's basically that's the turntable still to get.
It's funny. Well, like it's funny when these occupations blow up, how also the prices and that barrier to entry of that occupation blows up. Because when I was in high school, this was back when like electro music started to get really big. You know, Deadmau5 and all that stuff. Yeah. Everybody wanted to be a DJ. Yeah. Everybody was a weekend DJ at flyer parties. Literally, people with no musical ability whatsoever were suddenly a DJ. So, yeah, and that trend is still very alive today. And well, let it keep going. I love it.
Yeah, it just pissed me off because I have a friend who has 2 brand new ones under her bed waiting for her 2-year-old kid to get old enough so she can teach him how to use them. Damn. I'm like, yo.
Hey, what if he's not even into it?
Exactly. Well, I told her, if he's not into it, you got to buy it right here.
Yeah.
Brand new, in the box.
Shoot.
Dude, 1200s.
Damn.
Well, we'll have a song soon, guys.
Unless you guys can figure one out and send one over.
Yeah. I've been waiting. You know, it's like I have so much stuff that's in our stash that I could send over, but I don't know. I guess nobody wants it bad enough, eh?
Nobody figured out your car yet?
No. Oh yeah, nobody's figured out my car.
Has anyone tried?
Yeah. They're still trying. Well, somebody asked the other day, "Does he have a GT 500?" Be like.
Yo.
Nah, son. If I had a GT 500, the whole world would know. I wish.
Whoa.
One day.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That is the end of episode 26. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. If you're listening to us via Apple Podcast, well, do us a favor and leave a rating. It's kind of funny how I'm saying that 26 episodes in, but yeah, like I've never asked for that, but we'll leave a rating. Well, hit us with some 5 stars. Leave us a good rating because I don't know how to delete those yet if they're bad. I don't think it's possible on Apple Podcasts.
Maybe
so. So yeah,
that's your deal.
Yeah,
that's for you to figure out.
I'll figure it out. Do that. Yeah. We appreciate you guys for sticking with us. We will be back next week. We're going to be at New York Toy Fair, and be sure to stay posted. And thank you for sticking with us, guys. I'm Jordan.
I'm Daryl.
I'm Mike.
And we will see you guys next time. Peace out.